Welcome to the Trinisphere, where Timmy's, Johnny's, and Spike's about to roll all things EDH. Here with your host, Shannon's a liar, I'm not playing Grim Wanda Timmy, with another budget deck tech. But first, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on any new Trinisphere content, and on to the deck tech. Alright, now in this episode of Budget Brews by Timmy, we're going to be playing Chromium the Mutable. Chromium the Mutable is a 4-mana white, blue, black, legendary creature Elder Dragon. Flash, this spell can't be countered flying. Discard a card until in the turn. Chromium the Mutable becomes a human with base power and toughness 1/1, loses all abilities and gains hexproof. It can't be blocked this turn. It is also a 7/7, which is a magical number in Commander because that means 3 hit kills. So the game plan for this deck is going to be controlling the board, try to wipe everything out as many times as possible, keeping Chromium alive, and when possible, casting him at the end step of our opponent's turn, so he'll essentially have haste when it's back on our turn, with 7 mana open and just crunching our opponents 3 times to get them out of here. Or being a dirty Timmy and never committing to one person and leave them all alive. Whichever comes first. But you can't cast a 7-drop without ramp. We have Soul Ring, Wayfarer's Bauble, Mind Stone, the Mirror Signet, Star Compass, Azorius Signet, Orzhov Signet, Walking Atlas, Talisman of Hierarchy, Hedron Archive, Golem's Eye, and Firemang's Vessel. Now once Chromium's out or before he's out, you're going to have to start controlling the board with spells like Pacifism, which doesn't allow a creature to attack or block, Into the Royal, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you pay the kicker cost, draw a card. Negate, counter target non-creature spell. Disdainful Stroke, counter target spell with CMC 4 or greater for that good old tempo. Unwind, counter target non-creature spell and tap 3 lands. Diabolic Edict, target player sacrifices a creature. Liliana's Triumph, each opponent sacrifices a creature. Doomblade, destroy target non-black creature. Tyrant's Scorn, choose one, destroy target creature of CMC 3 or less, return target creature to its owner's hand. D-Spark, exile target permanent of CMC 4 or greater. Azorius Charm, choose one, creatures you control gain lifelink until on the turn, draw a card, or put target attacking or blocking creature on top of its owner's library. Leadership Vacuum, target player returns each commander they control from the battlefield to the command zone. Draw a card. It's a little blowouty for us, but if our commander was going to die, it's pretty good, or if somebody's attacking us with a pretty big commander, we could just bounce it to their hand. O-Ring, good old O-Ring, exile target non-land permanent until O-Ring leaves the battlefield. Same with Thopter Arrest. Mortify, destroy target creature or enchantment. Crush Contraband, exile target artifact or enchantment. Utter End, exile target non-land permanent. Crux of Fate, destroy all non-dragon creatures, is what this card says. And Rout, destroy all creatures that can't be regenerated. And if you pay an additional 2, you can cast it at instant speed. But when you're playing all these spells, you're going to eventually run out of cards in your hand. So you got cards like Trade Routes, where you can pay 1, return target land you control to its owner's hand. Pay 1, discard a land card, draw a card. Monastery Siege, as Monastery Siege enters the battlefield, choose Cons or Dragons. Cons, at the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card, then discard a card, which is probably the only mode we're going to pick on it. Read the Bones, scry 2, then draw 2 cards to lose 2 life. Notion Rain, surveil 2, then draw 2 cards. Notion Rain deals 2 damage to you. And Morbid Curiosity. As initial cost to cast this spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw cards equal to the CMC cost of the sacrifice permanent, which will go great with another card later in this list. Chemist's Insight, draw 2 cards, Jumpstart, so you can discard a card and cast a spell from your graveyard a second time. Fact or Fiction, reveal the top 5 cards of your library, and opponent separates those cards into 2 piles, put one of the piles into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Righteous Authority, we're going to make Chromium big with this spell. Enchant Creature, enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each card in its controller's hand. At the beginning of the draw step of each enchanted creature's controller, that player draws an additional card. Staff of Nim, at the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card, tap, Staff of Nim deals 1 damage to target creature or player. And then we have Coveted Jewel, which, when it enters the battlefield, you draw 3 cards, and it has tap, add 3 mana of any 1 color to your mana pool, and whenever 1 or more creatures an opponent controls attacks you and are unblocked, that player draws 3 cards and gains control of Coveted Jewel, untap it. So we can cast Coveted Jewel, tap it, flow 3 black mana, and Morbid Curiosity to draw 9 cards in 1 turn. But this is Merry Christmas Land, so let's never assume that's going to happen. And then one of my favorite cards, which I love to play as a Timmy and just dome myself for tons of damage, is Bolas' Citadel. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play the top card of your library. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to the CMC cost rather than pay its mana cost. Sacrifice 10 non-land permanents, each opponent loses 10 life. Now onto the utility cards. Bag of Holding. Whenever you discard a card, exile that card from your graveyard. 2, tap, draw a card, then discard a card. 4, tap, sacrifice Bag of Holding, return all cards exiled with Bag of Holding to their owner's hand. So when Chromium's out, or whenever other times you discard cards, they'll go in their Bag of Holding instead of actually losing them, which would be a great advantage that you could pull up later when you can tap it for 4 and just return all the cards back to your hand. We have Quicken. The next sorcery card you cast this turn can be cast as though it had Flash, and you get the draw card for that instant speed board wipe action. Blind Obedience has Extort. Artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Hushbringer and Tikali Honor Guard. Both creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger, but Hushbringer also has an additional. Whenever a creature dies, that also doesn't allow abilities to trigger. Felidar Umbra, enchanted creature gains lifelink, in case those games are going long and you're getting pummeled because this deck doesn't play many creatures. Farm, destroy target attacking or blocking creature. To mark it, Aftermath, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Diabolic Tutor, for when you're searching up for an answer you really need desperately. Refurbish, return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield like any of your rocks, or the 6 mana artifacts, or this big old Bolas of Citadel that nobody wants to cast but always gets targeted. Unburial Rites, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. This may be a little loose, but we don't have many creatures, but the ones we do are supposed to be bombs that hopefully end the game for us. And then we have Revival Revenge, return target creature card with CMC cost 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. Or Revenge, double your life total, target opponent loses half their life rounded up. Now on to the bombs. Archfiend the Vifnir, flying 5/4. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, put a -1/- counter on each creature your opponent controls, cycling 2. So if Archfiend the Vifnir is out and you have Chromium out, you just pitch your hand away. Let's just be generous, like 4, and just -4/- the entire board, and then you get free attacks. Silumgar the Drifting Death, flying Hexers. Whenever dragon you control attacks, creatures defending player control get -1/-1, and you have 2 dragons at the least in this deck. Endbringer, untap Endbringer during each other player's untap step. Tap Endbringer deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Tap Wingding, target creature can't attack or block this turn. Wingding, tap, draw a card. Endbringer is a 5/5. The only way to cast it will be the 1 waste in our deck, and all these other rocks that float no mana. And by no mana I mean Wingdings. Yamo. Nezal the Primal Tide, one of the best finishers ever printed for a Timmy in blue. Nezal is a 7/7 legendary Elder Dinosaur. Nezal Primal Tide can be countered. You have no maximum hand size. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, draw a card. Discard 3 cards, exile Nezal, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. There are so many times where I put this on the board and everybody's like just blowing their entire hand on it, and I'm just popping it back into my hand. Granted, you usually lose card advantage, but when you're on a budget deck, Nezal the Primal Tide is worth discarding your entire hand to finish a game with. Then we have Thieving Amalgam. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you manifest the top card of that player's library. Whenever a creature you control but don't own dies, its owner loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Just big old idiots to close the game out. And then we have Zetalpa Primal Dawn. All flapping, no napping, double tapping. I forgot the rest of it, guys, I'm sorry. But it has flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible, and it's a 4/8. If they get rid of this, you are meant to win the game anyways. Alright guys, and that's my deck tech by Timmy. Let me know what you think about it below. Like, why is there an Endbringer in here? Because honestly, I just really wanted to play this Endbringer, but when I'm looking at this deck all over again, it's probably worth a cut. But at $50, it seems good to go. Anyways, thank you for joining me here today on this deck tech by Timmy. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on any new Trinisphere content. Go through our affiliate link down below so you can help the show out and help me make budget decks, help with Hogg's Rock Addiction, and help Shannon's life in the editing closet just be a little bit easier. And remember, it's all about sending a message. Like playing all basics in your tricolor deck.